Hello again, YouTube. This is Tim Coleman with his PulseJet powered Go Kart project. You can see here that I have been doing some indoor assembly. Hopefully I can get this out the door. You can see that I cut the inner tube material off the seat frame. It just didn't work out. I got too big a inner tube and it didn't stretch properly. But I've got the front and rear keel halves mounted together. You can see the cluster plate there. That's where the bottom of the mast goes. That hole that I showed you in the previous video goes in that top hole right there. That hole is a bolt with bushing for over the shoulder seat belt attachments. I've still got to attach this, and I'm going to put some reinforcing plates on this area. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. This area all here is bolted together completely and tightened down, including the two bottom bolts on this bracket that help hold the keel sections together. You can see it there with the wheels on. I have got the front axle off because it just takes up too much room. There's the other wheel. Back there is the tail wheel pushing against the wall. But that's where we're at so far, and I'm to the point that I'm going to have to move this thing outside. I hate to do that because the pollen is just so bad, and the rain and the wind, and I don't really have a storage building to put it in, so I'm going to have to clean the porch off somehow and put it there. And it's just a logistics problem for right now. But I'm finished painting the engine mount. I sent an email to Bob asking about the engine intakes being on the bottom rather than the top, if that's a technical issue, or whether or not the engine will function properly like that. I really don't see one, but there could be that I'm unaware of. I'm sure he's tried it both ways, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. But anyway, that's where we stand so far. I'm going to have to do some bracing on the mast to the axle. I'll feel better about a rollover condition if I have some bracing tubing or angle or something like that to stiffen the mast on rollover, because the only thing that holds it in place is those two 3/4 angles and that those two bolts and that plate on the bottom there on the keel, which is fine if you're hanging from a rotor head on a gyrocopter, but not if you roll over in a go-kart. So I'm still working on the logics for that. Also, I don't have as much room in the front as I need for the steering shaft and wheel, but I think I've got something figured out. We'll work. That'll be a work in progress. Right now it's a matter of getting the mast. I did decide to cut the mast. I've already marked it. I'm waiting for the paint to dry good, and then I'll shear 6 inches above that bolt hole, and then hopefully I can mount the engine with the intakes down. That'll lower the thrust line, center of gravity considerably, make the cart look better. Still have plenty of room for a propane tank. But that's where we're at right now. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, 2 thumbs down. And we'll talk to you again on the next installment. Tim Coleman and his PulseJet Go Kart project.